Hey everyone, it's Miss Davenport. I hope you're ready because I'm here to read to you the next couple of chapters of The Karate Mouse. So get ready. Chapter 8. I'm really more of a book mouse. Once we arrived at the dojo, I scurried into the locker room and got changed. I was doing fine until I tried putting on the gi. I had no idea how to tie my belt, which was a little humiliating. Luckily, Shorty Tao came to my rescue. We went out onto the tatami, which were the rubber mats covering the floor, and we began to warm up. Bruce was sitting in the bleachers. "Go, Cheesehead, go!" he shouted. "Remember, you need to concentrate. Focus, you can do it. Now get out there and show us your stuff." I was so embarrassed. I should have been used to it, but I wasn't. You see, when you're with Bruce, you're always the center of attention. That's hard for a quiet, shy book mouse like me. Shorty introduced me to our world-famous sensei, Masahiro Yamushi. "Are you the new martial arts athlete?" Sensei said. "That's strange. You don't look very tough." "Well, I am. I'm really more of a book mouse, Sensei," I began. "Who said you could interrupt me?" Sensei said. "If that happens again, you'll be jumping rope for 30 minutes. I gulped. Unlike me, this rodent was very tough. Now, as I was squeaking before, I was so rudely interrupted. "You don't look very tough, but I trust Shorty Tao. If she says you're ready, then you're ready." We began the training. I kept my eyes glued on Shorty and tried to imitate her moves. She was really excellent. Every move she made was fluid and graceful. She didn't look like she was doing karate. It looked more like dancing. "Geronimo, you can't wear glasses when you're training," yelled Sensei. "Well, I'm such a book mouse that I really need my glasses to see, Sensei." "Who said you could interrupt me?" Sensei said. "If it happens again, you'll climb the rope 50 times. We continued training for 4 solid hours. Sensei spat out one command after another, and we tried to execute them faithfully. After 2 hours, I raised my paw and asked if I could have a drink of water. "Who said you could interrupt me? And who said you could drink during a lesson? Don't you know it's forbidden? Now drop and do 100 push-ups. No, make it 200. That'll make you stronger." I did as he said. What choice did I have? I was too terrified to disobey. When I finished, I felt like a dead mouse. Chapter 9. A very serious knot. The next morning, I was sound asleep. My body ached from the tip of my snout to the tip of my tail. I needed rest. But Shorty Tao had other plans. "Geronimo, get up," she squeaked. "You have an appointment with the massage mouse." "But it's 5 o'clock in the morning," I said. "That's right, and you're already late," she replied. "We'll have breakfast at 7, and then we'll head back to the dojo. Now, are you getting up by yourself, or should I pinch you?" In 3 seconds flat, I was up, showered, and ready to go. "Good for you, Geronimo," said Shorty. "Now go to room 217. The massage mouse is waiting for you." I was a little apprehensive, but it was a massage. How bad could it be? So I went to room 217. A massive mouse dressed in white opened the door. "You must be Geronimo," he said curtly. "I'm Hans Muscle Turner. Please lie down on the table." I lay down, but I wasn't at all relaxed. Holy cheese, how could I relax when a mouse the size of a truck was about to crunch my bones? Hans took some oil from a little bottle and rubbed it all over his paws. Then he began to massage my back. "Geronimo, your muscles are very tense," he said. "I have to dig my paws into them." "I guess if you really have to," I replied nervously. He was hurting me a little, but I must say I was beginning to feel better. Here's a very serious knot," he said. "I'll have to dig my elbow into it." "Your elbow? Well, all right, if you really have to." Hans planted his elbow between my ribs. It hurt a little more than his paws, but it did seem to be helping. After a while, he stopped. "Here's a knot that's very, very serious," he said. "This one we'll treat differently." "Okay," I responded calmly. "What do you mean differently?" "Trust me," Hans said. Before I knew what was happening, he had climbed onto the table. He began walking up and down my back. "Take a deep breath," he instructed me. Then he stomped his heel into my shoulder. "Ouch!" I shrieked. "Done," Hans said triumphantly. "How do you feel?" "I want to go to the hospital," I shrieked. Chapter 10. Karate equals respect. Training was very hard. Sensei Yamanouche was very strict with me, but soon, with help from him and Shorty Tao, I started to improve. First of all, I felt a lot more in shape. My muscles didn't ache as much, and my ability to concentrate had changed. I discovered that karate has a lot more to do with the head than the muscles. I learned quite a bit of kata, a series of punches and kicks in the air against an imaginary opponent. Kata really helped me try different combinations of moves, steps, and turns. In addition, Shorty was teaching me a lot about the spirit and philosophy of karate. Many might think karate is a violent martial art, but it's not. Karate teaches us to control ourselves and to respect our opponents. It also teaches us loyalty and trust. I was puzzled. Really? Respect, loyalty, and truth? I asked. I don't understand. Shorty nodded. Think of it this way. Imagine yourself in front of an opponent. What's the first thing you do? Well, that was an easy question. I get scared, I answered. Shorty started laughing. No, Geronimo. The first thing you do is bow. That bow shows you your respect and gratitude. It says, this match will help me learn and grow, and I'll help you learn and grow too. Karate teaches kindness and respect. On the tamati, everyone is himself or herself. Shorty continued, there's no cheating in karate. Everyone appears as he or she really is. You can't hide your flaws. Karate encourages us to be sincere and honest. Shorty was right. There was much more to karate than I'd realized at first. The art of karate, yes, karate is a true art, was really beginning to grow on me. Shorty looked at me gravely. Geronimo, karate is a perfect sport for a brainy mouse like you. It brings together the heart, the head, and the body. Think about what you've learned today. We repeat the philosophy of karate when we kneel and bid farewell at the end of every training session. We call these rules the dojo-kun. Chapter 11. I'll help you. The next day, the day I dreaded was finally here. It was the night before the tournament. I'd expected to be incredibly nervous, and I was, but I was also incredibly excited. Of course, I had done everything I could do to prepare. I learned enough to advance to a green belt, and I had also perfected a top secret move. After dinner, Shorty knocked at my door. Here, Geronimo, this is your number, she told me as she handed me a piece of paper. Put it on the back of your gi jacket. You'll have to sew it on. I didn't know how to tell Shorty this, but I did not know how to sew. The rest of the team from Mouse Island began to arrive. Everyone held a gi jacket and a number in his or her paws. They all had the same embarrassed look on their snouts. Shorty took one look at them and immediately understood. Okay, rodents, I have a needle and enough thread for everyone. I'll help you. Then Shorty called to her two best friends from the team, Daniela and Miyaga, who came with the reinforcements. The next thing I knew, my room was transformed into a sewing factory. Everyone pulled together to get the numbers sewed on. Working together helped us feel more like a team, and being in such good company helped me forget my nerves. Chapter 12. This is the last chapter for this time. Breakfast of Champions. I couldn't eat anything for breakfast. I was way too nervous. As for Shorty Tao, Daniela, and Miyagi, they ate a huge breakfast. I didn't know how they did it. My stomach was in knots. Even an expert sail mouse couldn't untie. Bruce scampered over to our table and slapped me on the back so hard I almost fell out of my chair. Hey, Geronimo, he said. You look terrible. Is it nerves? I know what a scaredy mouse you can be. Bruce knew me too well. I was terrified about performing my karate moves in front of the whole team, plus a judge and an audience. But did he have to bring it up in front of my teammates? Shh, please lower your squeak, I said to him. Don't feel embarrassed, cheesehead, Bruce practically shouted. Everyone gets paralyzed by fear sometimes. I mean, I don't, of course, but the average book mouse like you is a different story. Now everyone was looking at me. Why, oh why did Bruce have to have such a loud squeak? Fortunately, Daniela and Miyagi were giving me their kindest smiles. Shyly, I smiled back at them. Shorty took my paw. Don't listen to him, Geronimo, she whispered. I have faith in you. At 7 o'clock on the dot, the bus came to pick us up. Half an hour later, we pulled up at San Francisco's biggest sports arena. The whole team scurried to the locker room to change. Something about putting on my gi made the reality of what was going to happen sink in. My tail was trembling. My heart was beating like crazy. My mouth was dry, and my paws were drenched with sweat. On top of everything, my eyes started to bulge. I hardly looked like a mouse anymore. I looked like a fish who just discovered that he's on the menu for dinner. Holy cheese, what was happening to me? Suddenly, I wasn't able to move a step. I was having a panic attack. It was sheer fear, and I was completely paralyzed. Shorty scampered over to me. Okay, Geronimo, she said. It's time to go out to the mats. I couldn't answer. Didn't you hear me, Geronimo? She asked. Move those paws. I still couldn't answer. I just stared straight ahead like a zombie. Geronimo, I'm telling you for the last time, either move it or I'll... She grabbed my neck and... Oh no, she had given me her dreaded pinch. Her method did the trick, though. The pain was so overwhelming, I snapped right out of it. Tune in next time to see how Geronimo does in his karate tournament. Bye, guys.